You ready?
Yes. First, you know the song, right?
You want this light on or off?
Off, yeah. Actually, I can stay off too.
Happy birthday! Good evening, brothers.
Good evening.
Team.
So, I'd like to start this evening with something that I learned from Mary. Praying to Mary, you hope to have a deep connection with her, to have a spiritual connection with her on a very deep level, to be able to almost talk to her. So I want to share with you guys something that I reflected on for a very long time. But before that, I'm going to give you guys a reading from Matthew. The lamp of the body is the eye. If your eye is sound, your whole body will be filled with light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be in darkness. If the light in you is darkness, how great will the darkness be? Okay, so what I want to share is sort of a personal memory. And I ask that what you do is sort of meditate on how the reading applies to the story that I'm going to tell you. It's a real memory about me. Okay, so I want to take you back to November 2008. I'm in St. Luke's Episcopal Hospital in Houston, Texas. I'm in a inpatient hospital room, about to be transferred to the emergency room. Actually, the operating table, but anyway, my family is around me. My mom is holding my hand and crying. My dad is kind of covering his face, and also trying to comfort my mom. And my grandma's there, my uncles and aunts are there, and they're all trying to touch my legs and my arms. I basically am there because I consented to a surgery, a craniotomy, that the survival rate is 50%. So they're now moving me to the operating room. My mom follows me, and everyone else does too. The last words my mom utters to me before the anesthetic kind of takes effect is, "Tim, pray Hail Marys." Keep repeating Hail Marys. Just say Hail Marys. And so the last words I utter is, "Hail Mary, full of grace." After the first surgery, again, this is, I'm told by my aunts, after the recovery and all that, is my mom was just outside the operating room 8 hours, full 8 hours, just crying and bawling, just waiting, just shuffling back and forth, just crying. And that's all she could do. She just waited and cried. I went out. I was on the table. I was being moved outside. And I just have a distinct memory, but it was a sensation really, of flashing lights. It was just, you're being moved, and you can just see the fluorescent lights up there. And it was blinding. The floor, how, there are little cracks in the floor as you go by. That kind of hurt, actually, because it was sort of bumpy, and they had to shake my head. So it kind of bumped onto the pillow, and the pillow felt like knives. So they moved me to a room I suspected was in the ER. And they gave me morphine. I wanted more actually, but I couldn't say it. I couldn't speak. My mom wasn't there, but she wasn't allowed. There was a time period where I stayed there, and then they had to take me back. There was a second surgery. I was told later on that the first time they opened up my head, they could not find the portion of my brain that caused the epilepsy. And so they had to go back and open up my head again. And so the second time they came in and they opened up my head, I was in a coma for 6 months. When I came back and I was conscious again, it felt like it was just the next day. I was in an inpatient room. My family was there. My mom was, of course, holding my hand. My dad was trying to comfort her. My whole family was there. Even my grandma was there. And she was always very sick and ill, but she was there. My mom, through the whole thing, ever since birth, she discovered my epilepsy. She was always there. She was the one constant, the one rock, the one compass I could just see, where she was just the one pointing where I should go. During the stages where I was recovering, the doctors, I had 9 specialists, and they came in and they said, Tim, because of the results of the surgery, you will have epilepsy for the rest of your life. And I said, okay, I understand it's 50-50 chance, either you keep it or you don't, and you're cured. But the next day, it hit me, and I just bawled. I cried. I lived with it, and I got it, but for some reason, I just bawled. Rivers came out of me. I don't know why. And my mom, what she told me, really, it was amazing. She said, Tim, I believe in you. And these days, you need justification for your claims. But she didn't give anything. She just said, I believe in you, Tim. And that was all I needed, because through the physical therapy and the occupational therapy and the speech therapy, those words really resonated. I had to learn to chew again. I had to learn to raise my hand again, to move my fingers and my toes. And those words just kept coming into my head, and I don't know, I don't know what I'd do without that. But my recovery lasted 2 months, which it varies from person to person, but I was told from my doctors that was extremely fast. She was the one that made me go to church when I was able to walk again. But when I say walk, I mean struggle to walk, as in, on crutches, painfully moving slowly with people staring, and not really walk, but just with people on both of my sides almost carrying me, but I was able to get there, but not really. But I struggled to go and get communion, and I made it, and I was very proud that my mom made me. She said, Tim, you're going to go. And I'm very happy that she was my compass, she was my light. And, in a way, I believe that our mothers, or our mom, or dad, or somebody in our lives acts like Mary. Because she is the one that is always pointing the direction to Jesus, pointing the way to Jesus' teachings, which is what the perfume that I just read indicates. She never leaves us. She always loves us. She's always with us in the darkest of times, and rejoices in our good times. And you know what, like Mary, I believe that we should be, that guiding light for each other, and for, everyone knows all of God's flock. I have one more thing to share with you guys. This was given to me after I graduated. Most epilepsy patients don't do well in school. They don't, well, most, I say most, I don't have a percentage, but that's what my doctor said, most. They don't graduate high school, they don't graduate college, much less graduating college after a brain surgery. But I would like to read you a letter which comes in from a scrapbook that my family made for me for Christmas as sort of a congrats on your great achievement for graduating college. To my son Tim, here you are, you did it. A fine man you've become. You graduated from one of the best universities in the United States, namely UT Austin. Your future is now wide open for you to reach, and all you have to do is reach out and grab whatever God intended for you. We wish for you all the best that life has to offer. We love you very much and will always support and be there for you through life. We are so proud for you for what you have achieved. You have proven to us and to yourself that nothing is impossible as long as you try hard and give it your best at what you set out to do. There's an old saying, you don't know what life is until you have survived all the obstacles that life throws at you. And you, my son, have survived all that. Through good times and trying times with surgeries, you never give up on yourself and on life. You continue to be positive and try hard, and that I am very proud of. Some may not survive what you have survived, but you did it. You are a survivor. I remember a shy little boy who always questioned and upset at why he has to try so hard for everything he has. Life was not always coated with sugar and honey, and things don't always come so easy for you. But you have persistently determined, your English isn't so good, determined and fought for everything you have achieved, no matter how big or small. With that strong mentality and determination, that boy has grown up and achieved beyond my expectation. You have become a man who has achieved through many obstacles. You graduated at the top of University, UT Austin, and you become a fine and compassionate man. You never give up and fought hard for all your achievements, and we are so very proud of you for that. We are so thankful that you've grown up to be a fine man. We wish and want the best for you and your future. Remember, it's only the beginning of your long, happy life. So go out into the world and make a difference. Love, Mom. I wanted to read you that because, in a way, it shows that Mary's always with you, and Mary rejoices with you, and she's sort of a symbol of that Christ. There's nothing impossible in Christ. And that just, it made me so happy. And so, let's just pray that all of us can be a guiding light for those Hoang was abandoned. And just be like Mary, that all that she is. Maybe let's have a little quiet time of meditation. And I'd like to end with those words, with a prayer that I uttered while I entered that surgery. And then maybe a blessing.